Hey everyone, welcome to This Week in Carbon Startups. It's the weekly show about carbon digital rock stars and their sun kissed innovations. What I'm doing is sharing short stories about all kinds of entrepreneurs and digital businesses who are actually future proofing the Caribbean using technology. So you will know a little bit about what problems they're solving, what trends they're riding, and how they're making money doing it. So, welcome to the Caribbean. That's beyond the beach. Hi, my name is Ingrid Riley. Now, in every episode, I talk about three Caribbean startups. One that's an OG or a tech pioneer in the space, one that I believe that you really must know about, and another that's kind of like a wild card that may have you thinking they're making money doing what? So I'm gonna get before I get into the episode, just want to say thank you so much for those of you who listened to the first two premiere episodes and love them. I appreciate the feedback, and so yeah, man. So let's just keep going. There's a lot happening in the region, always has been happening in the region, and because of what's been going on over the last 2 or 3 years, I think just the whole development of our ecosystem in countries like Jamaica, Trinidad, Bahamas, Barbados, there's some exciting things brewing in our region. And I just kind of want to share it with you on a weekly basis. So in this episode, it being Thursday, or we call it, hashtag TBT or throwback Thursdays, I'm going to take a little bit of a liberty. Yes, so early in rolling out this podcast to do things a little bit differently. So instead of my usual format, which I just told you about, I'm going to do a theme for this week only, right? And you tell me if you like it or not. So the theme for this episode is carbon startups I wish had made it and why I think they didn't. All right. So I'm going to do three startups. The first one I want to tell you about is Tump. Yes, Tump. Now, Tump was a free BlackBerry app. So we know we're talking about an OG here. A BlackBerry app that helped you find places, services, and events in the Caribbean. It was made in Jamaica in 2011. It positioned itself as a free app that helps you to find, yes, as I said, places, events, and services where you live, work, and do business. It was developed by a five-person software development company called Lime Juice, which was led by two young men. And it took them 7 months to build. Now, when they launched, it had over 1,000 data points for both Jamaica and Trinidad. What I loved about it is, of course, you could, add your favorite location, or just out of pure self-interest and shameless promotion, add your own cafe, bar, company, boutique, whatever it is. So we could basically use their what they call map it feature. Now, as you listen to this, and if you've been in technology and in the digital space here and abroad for a while, as I said those words in terms of what you could do and with this app, you kind of realize that it was kind of in the era of ding, 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 Foursquare. I remember that Foursquare that had us all, checking in and trying to become mayor of a particular city or a town or a location. Yeah. So what was happening with them is that they were collecting a lot of data, of course, user driven, and that was actually making it very valuable. And that could be something that could be leveraged later for marketing or for money making. Now, why didn't they make it? Well, it was in the time of Foursquare. It was they had launched it in 2011. Foursquare was launched in 2009, believe it or not. And so it's somewhat almost like a Foursquare for Jamaica or for the Caribbean, because, of course, Foursquare hadn't really manifested and kind of grown into the region by then. So Tump was our answer to Foursquare in the Caribbean. So that's kind of why I believe one of the reasons why they didn't make it, that they were like a clone of an American app. Secondly, Tump was only on the BlackBerry OS. It was 2011. right? BlackBerry was still a thing and a really, really big thing globally, but also especially in the region. They pretty much owned um, the mobile um, the mobile industry, the mobile users in the region. But I believe that if they had stuck with it, they would have been ahead in terms of like geo mapping locations in Jamaica, and they could have actually become that very big dominant brand, especially for events. Having that events calendar, that we have a ton of events outside of even the tourism industry, and I believe they're stuck with it. As Foursquare itself moved from being more of a consumer facing data gathering or data mapping tool to more of a business to business tool. Foursquare is fading in the background, but the company itself, of course, is still going. So I believe if Tump had sort of a stick with it, they could have weathered that, if you call it that flare up of popularity that Foursquare had around the world and in the Caribbean, and stuck with it and really kind of created something unique for the region. So I miss those guys, and I miss that Tump um, free BlackBerry app that was made in Jamaica in 2011. Yeah. Anyway, so enough about Tump. The next startup that I want to tell you about is called CrimeBot. CrimeBot was made in Jamaica, a mobile app designed to fight crime by providing crime hotspot views and alerts based on locations through mobile devices. How it worked was that it allowed citizens to submit information about suspicious activity in real time. It also, culled, data news specifically from the police, from major media outlets, and kind of curated all that in a single place. It was almost like they had created like a neighborhood watch system on steroids. That they basically applied mobile technology to inform us, to disseminate this information, this real time. It was like real time data collection. CrimeBot was made in Jamaica by a four-man co-founding team in 2013, and the mobile app was only for Android. So why did it not survive and thrive? Because I had major, major hopes for this particular startup. I just believe, based on what I've read and researched and put together, is that they didn't figure out a sustainable business model, where they could actually convert all that raw and trend data into a meaningful information product that could serve various business sectors, whether it's security or the government. And they had that in mind. I remember reading something about them saying that they were exploring partnerships with relevant government agencies and security groups, and they're thinking of, of course, going out into the Caribbean and to other parts of the world. So I just believe that, again, if they had stuck with it, and pivoted and iterated along the way, this could really have been helped to be a massive tool to map crime hotspots, help users, consumers to be a part of the solution, help the police, other entities in terms of mapping, tracking, and finding solutions for crime hotspots across the Caribbean. So, but those guys, like the ones from Tump, they're still in the game. They're still in the industry doing different things. So, I expect some interesting other solutions, other startups from them. But I really believe that CrimeBot could have done some really interesting things for Jamaica and for the region. Okay, so my third and last one is mobile gaming. So you see the theme here, not just it's not just startups that I wish had made it, but also you see that they're all in the um, mobile app, sector. So Jungle Escape is a mobile gaming app, but guess what? It was only done for the Windows Phone. So you know, right? It was a free app that had over 200,000 downloads. When it launched, it was started by two university students who built the app between school and work. Right now, the gaming app rolled out as a minimum viable product for first-time users, similar to like a demo product or MVP, as we now call that now. So, and it was designed by a software developer called Nicholas. Why it didn't survive? Come on now, I just said the two words: Windows Phone. I mean, where is Windows Phone now? So again, it was great that they were in that ecosystem at the time in terms of, that Microsoft ecosystem. But Windows Phone was a dud. It went nowhere, and they had built this promising mobile gaming app only for the Windows Phone. Now, can you imagine if they had gone to Android? And just kind of focus on doing that. But yeah, so that's so yeah, they basically shoot themselves in their foot by only building this mobile gaming app for the Windows Phone. So yeah, so there it is. That's it. Three startups. I told you about Tump, I told you about CrimeBot, and I just told you about Jungle Escape, this mobile gaming app. So three startups that I usually do, but it's on a different theme. But I'm gonna go back to the original flow of this week in Caribbean Startups podcast next week. All right. So, in closing, thank you so much again for listening to our premiere episodes last week. Every Thursday, we're going to drop a new episode on Spotify, on Anchor. We're rolling out to the iTunes App Store, the Google Podcast Store, and other podcast platforms. So be patient with us. Maybe in another week or two, we'll have at least gone up to 9 podcast platforms. So you can listen to it wherever you listen to audio podcasts. So thank you so much for listening to This Week in Carbon Startups. And if you like what you heard, subscribe, tell a friend. And so make sure that you have hit that subscription button so you can get notification when I drop a new episode. All right. So until next week, Thursday, have a fantastic weekend. I'm Ingrid Riley. Take it easy.